Well, that didn't go to plan. I'm about to attempt to break the world record for the most US states visited by bicycle in 24 hours. The current record is 9, meaning that I'm going to have to do 10. Now, I'm pretty nervous about this because not only am I going to have to cycle super far, it's also over 30 degrees right now. It is boiling, and I'm going to have to ride through 2 of the busiest cities on the planet. This is f***ing grim.
The route I'm taking is the most important aspect to this record. I'm planning to start in Maryland on the tri-state border of Delaware and Pennsylvania, bagging me 3 states straight away. From there, I will head northeast through Philadelphia and into New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine. It has to be in the northeast of the USA because the states are relatively small and close together. If I were to do this in Texas, I'd probably only manage 2 or 3.
So, this record, it's going to be brutal, not least because I have to cycle nearly 700 kilometres and average 30 kilometres an hour. But for reasons that I will explain, I'm not sure that this is actually possible. But the only way to find that out is to give it a crack. I've been preparing for this for months. I feel like I'm in really good shape, and I've also got an incredible team behind me to support me in the challenge. Also got this sweet Canyon Aeroad CFR, which has got a custom paint job from My Canyon on it. Also, we've got custom Princeton Carbon Works wheels, which look incredible. And we've gone for the optional tri-bars on the front. Now, all the equipment has been carefully selected, and of course, I've been really nerdy about it. A wrong turn on this ride could cost me dearly. And not only is the route super complicated, I'm riding on mostly roads that I've never ridden before in my life. And so with that in mind, I've opted for the Wahoo Element Ace because it's got a massive, massive screen. Its navigation capabilities are mint. And also it's got a really long battery life. There's a lot going on here that I don't have time to tell you about right now. But if you want to find out about all the tech I'm using, the bike, the planning, the preparation, the nutrition, which is absolutely massive, then I've done a separate video over on GCN Tech, which explains all of that. And hopefully there's information in it that you can apply to your own ultra-endurance adventures.
Oh, man. I'm like in bits. I'm all swollen and cut up. But I'm in one piece, which is good. It could have been worse. But I think what I'll do is I'll talk about what the plan was. This is something that I've been training for months. So decided about doing this back in 2024. And then as soon as you decide, right, this is something we're going to go, you start playing around with the routes. And I thought, oh, yeah, this is something that's possible. And then you start working back from that. So you think, right, 10 states, that's going to be about 650 kilometers, 5,000 meters climbing. When are we going to do it? We're going to do it in summer because it's faster, the air's thinner, and you're more likely to have good weather. And then, since before Christmas, I was sort of training with this in mind, doing loads of training, in the gym, then doing long distances. And then there's videos that you might have seen on the channel, which I was doing with a mind to training for this. This was my main focus. So things like the Everesting on the Stelvio, like that, this is a lot longer ride than that. And I saw that as a training ride for this.
It's currently 2:30 p.m. in Maryland, right here, right now, which means that as soon as I press start on my Wahoo, the timer starts, and the ride ends 24 hours from that point. Now, I've got to get to the George Washington Bridge in New York City before midnight because it shuts to cyclists. And if I'm not there, then the whole attempt is derailed. So let's go. Let's have it.
Physically, I felt amazing. I set out riding, and when you get that feeling where you're like, oh, yeah, I got good legs today. This is good. And you're like, this is on.
So we're just riding through Delaware now. And this is actually a really beautiful place. These suburbs and houses are just so nice. Like, this reminds me of sort of Amish country, but it's not. But the thing that I can't understate right now is how hard it is riding in this heat. My Wahoo tells me that it's over 30 degrees and it's absolutely boiling. And I've got actually custom alerts set on it to remind me to eat and drink every 20 minutes. And I've also got amazing support from Precision Fuel and Hydration. So they've actually sent Em along to help fuel me for this challenge, and we've actually come up with a very detailed plan. And I know that in these temperatures, because I've been in their heat lab, that I'm typically losing at this intensity like a litre, maybe even 1.5 litres of fluid an hour, which is loads. I've got to drink a lot.
We had like the fueling strategy in place and all the hydration strategy, and you know, that was going really well. There's just so much that goes into it. Like the day of, before we started, it was like 600 grams of carbohydrate and then about 600 grams of carbohydrate the day before. That's a huge amount of carbs. I was just basically slamming rice under like Em's supervision.
So if you're wondering what this little headset is I've got on, it's a BCOM 20 from Senna, who are a company that make a lot of communications equipment. They're big in marine and also motorbiking. But this is a device that's ideal for cyclists and allows cyclists to communicate with each other in groups. But we're using it for a slightly different reason. We've got it connected to Em in the team car from Precision Fuel and Hydration, so I can ask her for snacks. So this is White Knight. It's a glycogen mothership. Over. Do you read? I need more glycogen.
In theory, you think, oh, a time trial bike is the best thing. But I don't ride a time trial bike loads, and this route also has loads of stopping and junctions and weaving and roads that aren't kind of time trial bike suitable. Then I'm thinking, well, halfway house. So you've got the Canyon Aero, you can have that really nice TT bar cockpit that integrates onto it. And the difference in aerodynamic performance between a Canyon Aero, which is you're not losing much, but you're gaining a lot more in terms of bike handling, maneuverability and comfort over just now and out TT bike.
We're an hour in, which means 23 more to go. But I'm feeling good. It's blooming hot, but I'm feeling good. And it's nice that I've got this nice white suit on, which is very similar to what Alex wore for Unbound. It's also from Rule 28. And the white is a deliberate choice to help with cooling. It does actually make a difference. And also it's very aero, my favourite thing.
So then you think about other aero stuff. So you go, right, wheels, and yeah, just go full disc and deep front. And our friends at Princeton made some amazing custom graphic wheels. They got the blur disc and then the Mac front. And oh man, the bike was just absolutely rapid.
Maybe you try it. Maybe you try it. Maybe you.
This is a huge navigational task. There's loads of turns. It's a super complicated route. It's really long. And then you think about the fueling as well. So, you know, we're doing things like, you know, trying to optimize carbohydrate intake. We're measuring sweat rates. Even the day before, we were measuring sweat rate with Emily from Precision Fuel and Hydration. Been putting myself through crazy heat sessions and sauna sessions. And then you visit Precision and you go in their heat lab and you see that's worked. There's a lot, you know, there's a lot to think about. And then you think, right, well, we need to organize the travel over here. We need to organize the logistics of the team that are going to film it and how they're going to do it and how we're going to do that.
With all the prep, add in the excitement and the nerves were high. But as soon as the ride started, that fell away. And whilst I'm keeping an eye on the route and all my data on my Wahoo, I'm also just settling into a rhythm and feeling good.
So 2.5 hours in, we're heading towards Philadelphia now. But I'm not gonna have time to stop and go up the rocky steps. Just up against it. But I'm gonna try and make use of some local knowledge and go on some bike paths through Philadelphia, because apparently there's some really good ones. Might even be a bit of gravel, but I think not being interrupted by traffic lights will definitely be worth it. It's so hot.
I woke up today feeling like royalty. The sky is dripping gold and wrapping around me. Life can be so wonderful, warm and gentle light. Nothing's gonna bring me down. I'm feeling so divine.
Through Philly, I was feeling great, and I could see that my average speed, my power, my heart rate, and my core temperature were all where I needed them to be. I was trying to keep the excitement down, but I could feel that this was on.
Feeling divine, I'm feeling the vibes. I feel like it's more than just a feeling, what we could define. Let's break through the ceiling, see what limits that we could defy, cause I could do anything.
So even with all the traffic lights through Philly, which was pretty crazy, I was just keeping calm and then managing to keep the average speed pretty good. So we're looking at about 29 kilometers an hour for the first 4 hours, and I just felt amazing. Like having the run-in, the prep, just I just felt like I was on one, which I think a lot of cyclists will relate to when you get those days where your legs just feel great. So whenever I do any crazy challenge like this, the things that worry me are the things that you can't control. Things like the weather, and we've been caught out a few times, but we were mindful of that. Like we had a window in which to do this when we came out to the States because of the weather, and there's a lot riding on it. So we looked at the forecast like every day, just watching it like a hawk. And the morning of, we're having breakfast and we're looking at the forecast, and we see, there's a chance of rain through Philadelphia. And the forecast was like 51% chance of rain. And then you look at like the actual amount of rain, and it was 2 millimeters. And like it said, like chance of showers, chance of thunder and lightning. And then we get to Philadelphia and it starts. And it's just a few drops at first, and you think, yeah, this is what was forecast, cool. It's just like a odd little drop here and there. And then the deluge began. And I am not exaggerating, this is the heaviest rain I've ever been in.
This is f***ing grim. Man, how is the rain this strong?
It's like something from it's like Jurassic Park. Like it was just mental. It was even more than the rain that we had in Taiwan when I was with Connor, if you've seen that video. And I thought that was the heaviest rain. This, America wins. It's bigger. It's bigger than anything else. It was crazy. Like the road just turned into a river. There was like flash flooding. Then there was like crazy wind, which was interesting with the disc wheel, but wasn't too bad. The moto that we had filming had to just like stop and get in the back of a trailer. And it was just pretty hairy, but I was riding in this stuff for about an hour and a half, and I was completely soaked. I wasn't too cold, because it was pretty warm still, but I was telling myself, like, the weather map said that this is like isolated showers and stuff, and it's blowing through, and it can't be the whole way. So just keep going. It's probably going to dry out in a minute and get really hot and humid again, and I'll warm up and dry out quick. So just keep going. fine. Like, you're making good pace, you're way up on speed, you know, physically felt great. Just keep going. And that's the mentality that I think has got me through a lot of like ultra endurance challenges. Is just, you have bits where it's a bit crap, but you just keep on going. So we get to 120 kilometers in, and there's a bridge going over the Delaware River into Trenton, New Jersey. Now, I flagged this on the route because most of the bridges in this area you can't cycle across. This is one of the few that is open to cyclists, and you can get across it 24 hours a day. The issue is that this bridge has a separate bit for pedestrians and cyclists, and that's because the main bridge is this kind of like cheese grater metal grid. And I knew about this. It had been in the planning, but when you're riding along in a crazy storm that's like a hurricane and the rain's lashing down, and you're just trying to stay upright and keep safe, it's you've got so much to concentrate on. I forgot where this bridge was, and then I realized at the last minute that this was that bridge. And I'm coming onto it, and the road narrows, so there's no space for a car and a cyclist. There's nowhere for me to go. There's a car right behind me, and I'm thinking like, I'm like getting funneled onto this thing, and I couldn't get onto the bit because that was on the other side, and there's oncoming cars, so I can't get onto the cyclist pedestrian bit. And just like that, I'm, you know, limited visibility with the rain and stuff, and then there's this bridge and this grid, and I'm like, oh my God, it's there, and I can't stop, the car behind me, I'm on it, and then the next minute, it's just like an ice rink, and the bike's just down. Only difference is on this metal grid, it's not like tarmac where you slide. It bites. It bit me hard, bit the bike worse. But yeah, I'm sort of in bits. I've got a slight fracture in my little finger, and just loads of cuts and abrasions. My hand, I think I might have broken my hand here. It really does hurt, but yeah, just bruises, cuts everywhere all side me, and yeah, unfortunately the bike came off worse.
Just waiting to find out what's happened with the x-rays, but...
Okay. I want nothing they didn't tell you.
I think my hand might be broken.
But you do that classic thing of the first thing I did was like picking myself up and thinking, right, no worries, just keep on, let's crack on, let's go again. And then I looked down and like the boa dial's ripped off my shoes. And I'm like, it's all right, we can tuck them in, that'll be all right. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Oh no, my shifter's broken, like on the left-hand shifter on the bike. I'm like, do I really need like 2 shifters? I reckon I can carry on with one. Still got one brake. Like, maybe I can carry on. Then I'm like, oh no, the tri-bars have fallen off. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be difficult. And then I'm like, oh no, the Wahoo's like come off the mount as well. But the mount socket on the bike had snapped as well, so I couldn't even fit the wire, so I can't navigate. And I'm starting to think, yeah, maybe this might, maybe I can't carry on. So I got to the hospital and they fixed me up. They, in the emergency department, they gave me this paperwork from being in hospital. And then it says this section, when should I avoid riding a bike? Do not ride a bike if the weather conditions are unsafe, such as during a thunderstorm or if the roads are very wet and icy. If only they'd given me that before. Yeah, sorry to, all of our amazing sponsors that are like, make this happen, and you guys who watch the videos, and you make it happen by watching, We couldn't do it without you, and yeah, sorry that this isn't the video that we wanted to make.